Well, I wonder, will he come? Wait, did he really die? Disruptors, yeah. I wonder who will be next one then. Lead anchor. Oh. Really, my daughter went to work there? That's propaganda. Burden born. No, I don't have money for it. Yeah, send her in special hospital. 20-week war, okay.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here. Hope all's well with the family. Just a heads up, we're expecting those troublemakers at Disrupt to attempt to hack the channel during the broadcast, so keep an eye on the interference screen and stay out of the orange. Let's keep the news on the air. It's important, now more than ever.
Screaming at some pensioners while they try and fashion a nutritious meal.
Oh, wait. What do we put? Advanced forecast?
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you to keep it light.
Well, what does that mean?
It means to do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war or politics in general, really.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear
Wonder
from me.
this one is.
Apparently, there's a crew at Team HQ right now.
Oh, this is sensor?
Or something tonight. They'll get it on the late news.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound
When
just
Katie
like
went
him, you know.
aboard.
How are you?
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay,
Listen to you now.
we have to keep on this one.
10 seconds, everybody.
Rumpled old sod.
Don't. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. It's the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight. Company of heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Sadly, however, more casualties were reported today, and as the weeks and months of this war make ever more demands on our armed services, those numbers will, tragically, only continue to rise. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. However, with a reported rise in mental and physical health issues since the imposition of the blockade, critics have questioned whether those smaller communities which are only now starting to receive help could have been better and quicker served. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. With dwindling medical supplies leaving many of our most vulnerable facing chronic pain, it can come as no surprise that the transition centres have found themselves stretched to capacity. Populace. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card, a worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. While applications are still open for those who like to run fashionably late, they can expect a few tricky questions from Advance. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankleypool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. Community cohesion officers found themselves challenged by the unruly mob element always present at Disrupt events, but thankfully managed to keep violent incidents to a minimum. And finally, absent friends. Sad news today as the grave of former National Nightly News host Jeremy Donaldson is vandalised by radical Disrupt activists. The much-loved broadcaster suffered a very tragic public breakdown 10 weeks ago in an incident which ultimately cost him his life. A passionate and rebellious man, always willing to question authority, Jeremy was posthumously celebrated with a Team Service Award by Advance for his outstanding dedication to journalistic truth.
Wrong, I want to put...
But first this evening, with the war about to enter its 21st punishing week and people hurting up and down the country, I'll be grilling unpredictable Prime Minister Peter Clement in an interview from his home in Lancashire. That's coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. I'm a little overexcited to announce I'll be interviewing the one and only Lil C. And later we've got a new feature that's sure to keep you coming back for more. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's speaking to us from his home in Lancashire. Good evening, Prime Minister. Have we caught you exercising?
Oh, have we started? Yes, that's right, Miss Wolf. Just a few minor adjustments. I mean, nothing drastic. I haven't joined the gym or anything. As my old mum used to say, just because she won't take it up the shit, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try for a quick fiddle up the car park.
Language, Prime Minister.
What? Quick fiddle? What's wrong? Oh, shitter. It's shitter, isn't it? Yep, that's the one.
And can you tell us what brought about this new you?
Well, you know, Mrs. C and I were watching, you know, the night the blockade began. When Jeremy Donaldson, well, you know, and it were blistering hot, as I'm sure you all remember, and I were a bit wheezy from all the cigars and all that, and Mrs. C turns to me after, you know, after the signal drops away.
Disrupt propaganda out. Try not to do that, Alex. We're watching you.
I couldn't go on without you. She's dead. So I made a decision, and since that day, I have stopped smoking cigars. Except for Christmas. My birthday. Weddings. State dinners. I swear I can't excuse this running backwards, does I? God,
Come on.
And apparently I'm going on a walking holiday this Christmas, and that should finish me off for bloody good.
Did you make the decision to holiday within the country this winter because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, Mrs. C has never liked travelling at the best of times.
Come on, get
These
back,
are
get back.
certainly not the best of times. On that we can all agree. And there's a lot of red tape involved in leaving the territory, as I'm sure you're all aware. Oh, there's a bastard now. Well, all in it together. Oh, yeah. Also,
Oh, so close.
it doesn't seem very advanced to be going abroad when the rest of the country is grounded.
And yet, Julia Salisbury
was
announced
so
today that she
difficult.
will be visiting Svenland during this year's winter break. Is that really an example of team spirit?
What? Did you know about this, Gail?
No one tells me anything, Peter. You should know that. Why don't you know?
Well, leaving that for a moment, it says on this card that a body like yours must take some planning to achieve. What's your morning routine?
Well, I have a frigid morning routine.
Rigid. It's rigid for fuck's sake!
Oh, yeah. A rigid and demanding plan that my doctor and personal trainer
Who's
Come on,
your
get it
personal
back, get
trainer?
it back, get it back.
Ah, some prick called Clark. Is that on your card?
I thought you might wonder. Prime Minister, speaking of planning, with the blockade in its 20th week and the people of this country reeling from its effects, what plans do you have to get us out of this mess?
Well, that's a very blunt question.
Surely one
Come on,
for
get
you,
back,
the
get back.
democratically
Green, green, green,
elected
green,
Prime
green.
Minister must have an answer.
Don't you get smart with me, Pat. I was a fucking national treasure before you were a twinkle in the milkman's scrotum. You want to talk about plans? Let me tell you about plans. That's all we do. Fucking plans and revised plans and then meetings to discuss
Okay.
the implementation of plans and
Understood,
plans and
Prime
yet more
Minister.
planning for fucking plans and yet more fucking plans.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, Prime
Do you
Minister.
know, I used to really like you, Pat. You were a breath of fresh air. But I've been watching you, and you know what? You get more like him every day.
Oh, we get it back. Nice, good.
I will take that as a compliment.
What is this one?
Prime Minister, later on this evening, your co-leader Julia Salisbury is going to give a national address from team headquarters. Can you give us a hint of what she's going to say?
Yes. Well, I imagine that there
Sorry,
will be
sorry, you
the
imagine?
usual. No, what I mean is.
You do know about this broadcast, don't you, Prime Minister?
Well, I'm sure I did. But Julia and I have no secrets from each other. We don't memorize each other's bloody diaries either. As my old mum used to say, if you wanted to get a job done quick, don't get bogged down in the pubes. What else you got?
Sorry?
Only cards. What else? A little piece of my life you want to rustle through? Get out. Refill my glass. Ta. Ah, come on. Come on.
Okay. What music do you listen to when you work out?
Well, Gail tells me that I work out to Little C, but I have absolutely no fucking idea who that is. Do you think the C stands for?
It stands for collaborative, Prime Minister.
Yeah, actually, that does make more sense, actually.
How's rationing affecting you?
It's hard, but we get by. You just have to learn to get by on the basics. Take comfort in each other. I've got Mrs. C and many a fine single malt. I want for nothing. Except for a decent night's sleep, of course.
Prime Minister, thank you for joining us. When we come back, it's time for the Culture Spot with Lil C and a
Hey.
world premiere performance of her new song. I genuinely can't wait to hear that. We'll be back after this.
1 minute back, everybody. And that is what happens when you wander from the car.
I don't think he knew about her statement.
I don't think anyone's supposed to know. When you mentioned it, Bozeman's face turned a colour that I think you call embolism.
Am I in trouble?
Bozeman? Nah, you're like the daughter he never had. Suppose the higher-ups might fire him, though.
Who's Lil C?
Or if there's any justice, me.
Who's Lil C?
Are you winding me up?
What? I'm civilized. I read books.
See. Really? Wow, I get.
No doubt have spotted the updated mixing desk. You'll need the new button will need applause when the guest enters and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
Ah, okay, so... Okay. So, they teach me a little bit? Okay, that's good. Oh, wait.
So that they too embrace this new future. Because a team can only succeed when it pulls in the same direction. And while we certainly wouldn't call dissenting voices treasonous, we would raise an eyebrow at those who can't find it within themselves to show even a little team spirit.
My kids go mad for her, absolutely mad.
Advance. Together, we cannot lose this war.
I think.
So join the winning team.
4, 3.
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of just 20. Let's give it up and welcome Lil C!
Excellent work.
I just say you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
Ooh, what's the regime?
And my manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Oh, well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded.
What?
What was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that, like, annoying little girl from that show to that, like, sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really. It was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
No, there's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
Uh-huh. So, this newfound explosion into your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing, like, nicer underwear, you know, for the paparazzi, but as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So, what's the album about?
So I thought it was about, like, how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about, like, promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again.
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out tomorrow.
So soon, after the last one?
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help and it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops and it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh, there she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough and I hate it sometimes and I hate myself. I just want to, like, cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to me, so I must be quite lucky.
Well, you know you don't have to do this, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. Most nights, between, like, my 4th vodka and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse, I think things could have been different, you know, like, better. But I don't know. I love doing autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I did. I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I'd press record on my cassette. But then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practising again.
Oh, sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Quagler proud and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. But you know what? It's actually all right. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then. Well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here's Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
It's the Force's favorite, the queen of teams, here to break in your blockades, Lil C.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing, only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team in me, no dirty foreign member. Don't stop your morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country pie. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die at two. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy? I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions. I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there? I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside,
Wow,
I don't
that
know
was
what will.
weird.
I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours, won't you?
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain perspective of me. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael?
What was
Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean Short? Is he?
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart. We both had the same agents, you know, like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together.
Wow.
And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. If they say for your pleasure, I'm going to start needing it.
It's not very good.
This next section will need you to use all 4 of the sound effects to help things along. Try and pick the most appropriate one at each given moment. The actors
Well,
can't
the
hear what
fact
you're
is,
doing, so
Jen, weren't enough flowers in my dressing room.
There were exactly 12.
Okay, so I have to use
look like
all
the
of
sort
them.
person who counts things? No, 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 not anymore. I'm better than that now. I'll tell you what, just keep adding flowers until it feels like 12. Got it?
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show, we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director and phenomenon, may I say, Geoff Algreba, guys.
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Geoff now. How'd you like that?
Well, yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It's shit.
And how does Angela feel about all this?
Who?
Your wife.
Oh, God, no. No. No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom, and I heard my father's voice. It said, Geoff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking.
Wow.
Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
Surely you're not this stupid, Alex. I know you were wrong before, but that doesn't mean stop altogether.
Good morning, Miss Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray, it's those young louts. They've vandalised my shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock. See? Works like a charm.
What a lovely way to put it, Ray. And just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Wow! Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh! I think that one's addressed to me.
Oh, this is not very good.
This one? Oh, so you're right.
Oh, I'm so messing up to this one.
Here it is.
Oh, it's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
What's up, losers? Hey?
Oh, no. It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around here.
No, I'm not very good at this.
Brad dudes.
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What? Did you say tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind, Ray?
Not at all.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
No doy.
It wasn't you who vandalised my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought for a minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray. Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
Uh-oh. Please make... Hmm?
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we are receiving some breaking news. I'm being told we're picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be... Oh God. What appear to be nuclear explosions in 4 major cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into the millions. I'm being told we're experiencing power fluctuations as a result, so apologies for any interruption to this broadcast for you at home. And apparently we can head over to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury any moment now. Yep, yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities across the continent. We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them if our conditions are not met in full and without delay. The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. we will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future. Your borders are now our borders. Your people are our people. They will finally be fed and clothed and educated and healed. But for your privileged few, the moment that they feared is now upon them. Allow me to be crystal clear. If you fire a single shot at our territory or harm a single one of our citizens, we will not hesitate to detonate further devices. You will not find them, though no doubt you are already searching for them. Our technology is decades ahead of yours. We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you.
I'm trying to think of what Jeremy would say if he were here now. He was always sceptical of advance. Then I suppose he was always sceptical about everything. That's part of what made him so frustrating to work with and so brilliant. I'm not going to lie, Jeremy, I really wish you were here now. You'd know what to say. You'd know how to bring everyone together. And I don't think you'd be angry. I think you'd see that anger was the engine that brought us here. I think you'd want us to stop, to look around us at the people and things we're so very lucky to have, and to realise what a privilege it is just to be alive. I think you'd want us to spare a thought for those with loved ones who are abroad tonight. And I think you'd be worried about retaliation, but you wouldn't show it. You'd remind us that this country and its people endure. You'd remind us that despite the way you hated how it sounds, we are a team. And I think you'd ask us to go to our loved ones and be with them tonight. But I don't have the words that you had, Jeremy. None of us do. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out.
So,
what did I get? Show success. Okay.
yeah, you would have done, you old bastard.
Finished?
Time's undone. We stayed out of the sun.
371. Okay.
This is Alan James. The revolution starts tonight, Alex. And we need your help.
We're so proud to be here today on this, the 500-day anniversary of the...
It's time to choose. Alex, whose side are you on?
After all, doesn't your family deserve a good, nutritious meal in these difficult times?
But before we go, one final thought.
Jeremy?
No, this is... It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Actually, it was pretty good. Pretty funny, and I like it. I don't mind. It was pretty nice, yeah. It was pretty nice. So let's see what will happen.
Hi, I'm Alex.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Den. Jay, we said Zoom backgrounds.
Oh, sorry, boys. We're the developers of Not for Broadcast, and we want to thank you so much for supporting our little game so far.
We're now 2/3 of the way through the story.
But as we film this in January 2021, the UK is back in lockdown.
We don't know when we'll next be able to film with a full cast and crew.
So once again, we have to ask you to please be patient with us.
And if you want to talk to us in the meantime,
come chat with us on Discord at discord.gg/notforbroadcast.
We stream on Twitch every first and third Thursday of the month at twitch.tv/NotGamesUK.
We always check the Steam forums for any suggestions or problems you may have.
And we read every Steam review, even the horrible ones, because your opinion matters to us.
So all that remains to say is thank you so much for playing our weird little game.
And
see you in episode 3. Probably, if I have come up with a kill by then, I will let you know.
So only 3 episodes. Ah, that's so sad.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones.
Yes. Seconds, CET. What? Slide talk, Mansible Dead, shares. Night broadcast don't like me. Up, down.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. Our main headlines tonight.
Free to play. Oh! Others, options. Okay, yeah, this is pretty good. I like it, and see you next time. Bye bye.